I have the plate that I've already got set up. One thing to note here, actually I'm going to put it this way. One thing to note is all the type is backwards. In letterpress world, everything is backwards. When we print in what's called a negative form, and then we do it print when it prints to it, it becomes right reading. So that is another aspect. Everything has to be upside down and backwards for us. I will take this plate, I will go ahead and put it in here, lock it up in my press. I've already inked up my ink wheel. My ink is actually ink that is real thick and gooey and very permanent. It's different than what you'd have in your computer. On your computer, you print 50 copies, you can pick it up and use it right away. For me, in the letterpress world, I have to actually print and I actually have to wait anywhere from 4 hours to all day before I can hand it to a customer or somebody, or else that ink will transfer to their hands or their clothes. So here, I'll go through. It's actually doing two things at once here. I'm gonna actually pick up a little bit of ink across here in the rollers. The rollers will come down and put a thin coat of ink across my plate. Now when I put this into motion, I'm actually gonna come up and it's gonna press. Right here, it's actually inking the rollers. At the same time it's pressing, doing two things at once. We'll go through and press it. Once it presses that ink from the plate, over to the paper, then we have a printed piece. So here is what we call our business end of the press. And what I've talked about earlier is that everything's modular. So I've kind of slowly grown this to what you see here now, which is a big 4-page newspaper. So I'm only printing the 4 pages here. To print the 8-page paper, I have to flip it over. I have to take all these heavy plates out, which is pretty much a 2-person lift to get these out of here, because most of it is printer's metal or lead heaviness. And then I have to change all these to flip to the other side, and that only makes an 8-page paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this into motion. When this plate goes back, when it's on the back side where it is right now, it's actually being inked. When it comes back forward, at this point, the paper would actually transfer from the plate to the paper when it presses right there. So back again, we're back inking it. At this point where the pressing would actually go on, I've had paper in it, and it'll peel off the top and go out the exit. So we'll go around to the front. So this is commonly how you would do a 4-page or print 4 pages of an 8-page paper. I put the paper up here. It'll sit in the guide pins. There, it just grabbed it. It'll go through it. That process at the bottom is transferring ink to the paper. It's done, and it shoots out the end, stacks it all up on the end. One key thing here, again, like I say, I'm only doing 4 pages. I got to flip this over and print the next side. So the back side of this is still not printed yet. So I still got to print another 4 pages. Also, another aspect, since we talked about upper and lower case, this is a sheet of paper. The term sheet of paper is still used today, commonly, even on something small, but it comes from this giant sheet that was here. So newspaper presses like this were still used all the way up until about the 1980s for small town printing. Say for a Mount Pleasant paper, maybe be done on Monday, and then Tuesday they would start working on the New London paper. Wednesday they might do the Burlington. They keep the press running, so the more the presses ran, the more cost effective the print shop is.